Hello everyone and welcome back to UKSG Blue 2024. This event, we are raising money for Crisis. You can donate with the links below the stream. We would also like to shout out BSG for their continued support. Now we have the first ever UKSG race. We've reached new territory, I'm excited. Yeah, so it is currently GingeSwagTia versus CDRomatron. I'm getting excited. I'll shut up now, take it away.
Right, welcome. I'm CDRomatron, also known as Mike.
I'm GingeSwagTia, also known as Tia.
And we have...
I am Cleftspear. I'm just here to commentate.
we're going to be racing through Dawn of the Dragon. This is an extremely fast-paced run. There's a lot we'll need to cover. Feel free to ask questions as we go through, as there's a lot of very strange tech as we do from this.
Yes.
Should we just do a countdown
Yep.
and then go on go?
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
so do you want to do the countdown?
Yep. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh,
So sorry about the screen going funny because we're playing on an emulator. Sometimes it does that.
So starting off with this run, the first thing we're going to be going to is a combat section. Annoyingly, the first thing we do in the game, which is relevant, isn't the combat section. It's setting up for a later technique called a Fury Fling. We can't really fully explain the Fury Fling without also explaining Hyperspeed. Hyperspeed's a mechanic where you can glitch the other dragon in the co-op environment to move at absurdly fast speeds. We can combine that with the Fury attack to travel extremely far distances within a level. And we're using these initial enemies for an infinite combo. I unfortunately dropped my combo there, so that's why I'm a little behind on this combat section, but that's me just finished my Fury bar now.
So the combo needs to be at about 150 to build the Fury bar at the top. So that's that purple blah that's flashing. As CD said, we will be doing something called a Fury Fling. In the Fury state, we can go through walls, which means we don't have to do any of the tutorial, because tutorial is slow. We don't need to learn anything because we're speedrunners. We know this game.
Traditionally, this level's about maybe 7-8 minutes long
Yeah.
if you were to do a glitchless speedrun.
And if you don't know the game, it'll be even longer.
But with this skip, we can bring it down to about 3 to 4 minutes.
yeah, I was gonna say casually, it's probably what, a 20-minute level, right?
Yeah, definitely. So with Fury Flings, we also do something called a super bounce, where we get Cinder up really high, so we get to skip most of the majority of the fights. We are now going into the hyperspeed state, so CD will be going for something different. I will be going for the bite thing. When I do this is a frame-perfect trick, the same with CD. We're trying to get Cinder stuck into this hyperspeed state so we can increase our height a lot and skip everything. Okay, I'm stuck.
Yeah, let's make it a 2.
And now we do our height. 2, 3, 1. Cool. This is a Fury Fling. I'm going through multiple walls at the same time now. And hopefully, if Spyro comes with me, we can skip everything. Cool, Spyro's in.
Oh, just about there.
Yeah?
Camera. Worried I'm a little far.
This way, follow me.
Thank you, Hunter. Very helpful.
Got it.
Oh,
Nice.
Good job.
So during spinning the wheel, we like to change between dragons because it actually goes down faster for a strange reason. We don't really know why, so whenever you see us with a wheel, we'll be switching dragons very quickly.
There's that shadow knock-up again that everyone's so fond of.
The shadow attacks is super useful during the speedrun. It will confuse all enemies around you and allows us to deal with combat situations extremely quickly.
Cool. So we are into the next level. This level is extremely fast. We do a few flings, which is where I do a heavy attack and I cancel it out with a dodge roll, which flings Spyro or Cinder at a great amount of speed. For here, we'll be doing something where we trick the AI into going into an area that we're not allowed into. So I am going to put Spyro into a corner, and then I will swap to Cinder, bite, and then change back, and hopefully the AI will go through the tree like that. And we will finish it off with a super bounce, so we don't have to climb these vines. And this is something you won't really see much in the game, but climbing is massive in this game. You have to use the dragons both to get to higher places. You can swing like a pendulum on that level.
And that level is a blink and you miss it. It is the shortest level in the game, if I'm not mistaken, but even here, it's down from, what, 10 minutes to 1?
Yes.
Yeah, it's extremely quick. So Tia's just entered the Valley of Avalar. I'm just entering it now. The Valley of Avalar starts off with a section where you're supposed to save all the cheetahs. The health bar of the town goes down very quickly if you decide to leave the town, and if you can get away and far away fast enough, that allows us to hit a checkpoint. Well done.
Thank you.
And means that we do not need to do the cheetah village section.
We will not be saving the animals this run, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. So interestingly enough, there's a few water gates we need to open here. We're only partially opening the first one because if it's fully open, it will be closed by the time we get back to it. However, if it's partially opened, it will remain partially opened. Same is not true for the second one. It will remain open. After this, we're going to be using the hyperspeed again. This time not for the hyperspeed itself, but instead to get Cinder stuck. The purpose of this is an AI manipulation. The second player does not obey physics, like it can go through walls when it's trying to fly towards you. So we're going to use that to clip Cinder into a location which is only meant to open once we've done a bunch of story stuff.
Having trouble getting Cinder stuck. Come on, get stuck.
And again, these hyperspeed tricks are frame perfect every time, and we're effectively going to be doing one in every single level. So I've got Cinder where I want her, just in the corner there.
I choose a different corner.
There's a few variations in strategies you'll be seeing between both myself and Tia. I'll be using the rolling strategy to get into the hyperspeed. Advantage of that is that it's a little bit quicker to execute, which gives me more attempts. However, I can't attack from it unless I've got a nearby wall or vines to climb onto. Whereas the version Tia is using is for a single execution slower, but means that she doesn't need to worry about that additional disadvantage. Which means if she pulls it off first try, then that's a huge time save for the strategy I'm using.
I was going to say, what's the combat ability do differently for her strategy then?
So I can attack. If I do the bite attack, that means Cinder can hyperspeed and attack at the same time. CD's version, he can only get attack if he does a wall run, and I believe something else. But if there is a wall that you can run on, then she can do attacks, but I get the attack straight away.
The purpose of getting the attacks is the same as what we saw in the very first level when Cinder was gaining incredible height. That version is only possible with the attacking hyperspeed. So we're collected the 2 weights. Normally you're supposed to go and find Meadow, go save Meadow. Meadow teaches you about the Hermit. The Hermit will then allow you to open the gate. By clipping Cinder into the location with the weights, we've been able to skip that whole section, and we are now bringing the weights towards the raft. As you'll see Tia doing now, we can smuggle the weights up, so we don't need to do a long platforming section. The weights do limit the height in which the dragon can fly in the free fly mode. However, if With one dragon, without the weights, we can fly up to the sections, jump on the vines, and that does pull the AI up just enough to get them onto the platform. We can do that with both the weights to get them up to the correct height. From here, we're going to be making our way towards the raft. With the raft, you'll be seeing some glitchy movement where we'll be doing with that, where by holding the A button with the roll, in this section, we are able to do a kind of continuous roll, which allows for extremely fast movement when we're carrying the raft.
I'd also like to mention that me and Cinder, well, as you're playing the game, you're tied to each other, so the AI sometimes does pull you back, which makes movement extremely difficult.
Yeah, casually this game is very finicky to play, even in single player. I mean, as much, if not, as much as two-player is.
Yeah, we've got the start section here. We just need to pull the raft, reopen the last gate. If there's anything you'd like to read, I think now would be a good time.
Alright, well, I would like to mention that we would like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold regular gatherings in the Netherlands and have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past events, among other things. Mark your calendars, because BSG 37 is on November 16th and 17th, and it will be streamed on twitch.tv/BSG_marathon.
Thank you. We'll just be using the rest of the glitchy roll movement to get us through this last section of the Valley of Avalar. And then from here we will be moving on to the Dragon City, which is a wonderful short level, which will yet again we'll get to showcase the attacking hyperspeed and the fun movement we can do with Cinder.
So, with most of the levels, you will see us doing the attack hyperspeed. That's how we start off most levels, because we want to go fast. And Dragon City, we will be doing the exact same thing. We will need to be gaining height to go past walls. This is actually one of the hardest tricks. There's about 3 hard tricks. This one's one of the hardest clippings. So we need to do 2 full attacks, and then hopefully, if we flap our wings at the right time, Spyro will be over there. Nope. Okay, he didn't appear for me, so I'll do that again.
Yeah, and once again, even more so than that second level, the amount of time you're saving through this trick is immense compared to, again, the casual playthrough this level. This level is one of the slowest.
So I've got Spyro, who's just appeared here. Now, if I walk forward, I will hit a cutscene that will trigger a boss fight, which we don't want to do because the boss fight is actually very long. So instead, we just go over the cutscene, or CD will be using the shadow attack by just going underneath the cutscene. So you can go above or below. Right now, I'm technically in a fight, but also the fight hasn't started. So if we look behind us, we have the boss.
Oh, hey, there he is.
There he is. We're meant to fight this guy, but we don't have to fight him because we didn't trigger him, so he's just chilling. So right now, all we have to do is just close this door.
Help us, please.
And throughout the whole level, we'll be using Spyro to pick up blue gems because we will need to level up our ice attack. We only need to level up once in the game, and that's for the boss fight at the end. Malefor is his name, he's very hard. And ice is the most effective thing against him. So that's why we need 4,000 blue gems for that. So I've just triggered the cutscene, and now I'm in the next place.
Awesome.
So hopefully CD can get in there.
Hopefully I will not be too far behind here. I am just having a little bit of difficulty with this skip here, apparently.
It is a very hard skip. You need to make sure that the AI is doing the correct thing.
So Tiz just made it into Attack the Golem. This is the first section where it's required to use the attacking hyperspeed version.
The reason why I'm in this corner is because I want to avoid getting hit. When you get hit, you can get knocked out of the hyperspeed state. There's multiple things that knock you out of the hyperspeed state. Grabbing ledges and getting hit by specific enemies. So the tail of the golem there, he can knock you out as well. Also, we don't want to die as well.
Yeah, staying alive is also important.
Very important.
Help! Help, please!
Unfortunately, we do have the sounds of moles dying in the background here. They are very unhappy with being burned.
Yeah. Once again, not saving the animals. But in this case, as long as we don't see them, doesn't really count, does it?
Gonna say you might catch up to me now. I got knocked out. I think I had my hyperspeed, but someone hit me. Oh, I'm dead.
Well, definitely got hit
Spyro.
there.
That's not good.
Through this wall. He is not being very cooperative today. There's a lot of points with AI manipulations, which can be rather tough, as you've got relatively minimal control, unfortunately.
Come on, get stuck.
Move it, Cinder!
So what we have noticed is on different levels, it's much easier to get Cinder stuck, and we think it's something to do with the frame rate issue. So some levels I can get stuck first try, and then others it's just, I can't get stuck. Come on.
Truly is a very balanced and polished game, isn't it?
Very balanced.
A big thing we need to be careful as well with the hyperspeed movement is we can be hit out of hyperspeed. There's various ways to lose it, one of which is there's a few enemy attack animations that can result in the current player losing hyperspeed. Oh, there we go, I got through.
Yippee!
Now I just need to respawn Cinder.
Huh.
Roll to purposely lose hyperspeed, and I'll show the other variation of skipping this fight. It's a lot easier casual. You just use Shadow, and you just do that. And Shadow does not activate triggers for some reason.
Huh. I'll need to remember that for next time I play this casually.
I am not having a good time.
Yeah, looks like Rom's gonna catch up with you.
Yeah,
pretty
he's
quick.
gonna catch up.
Again, that attacking hyperspeed is extremely difficult to land. That is a frame-perfect trick, whilst you're also needing to watch out for the enemies nearby, as well as the frame rate causing that trick to be a little harder to hit on that level, as opposed to the rest. There's a lot of very heavy reset points in this run. But even with spending a fair amount of time trying to set up these tricks, that's an extremely long level attack with golems. It's about maybe
Oh my God,
15
come on.
minutes or so if you were to sit down and do all the fights. So even with spending a fair amount of time attempting to set up the hyperspeed, that would still be time saved.
I am not getting it.
Yeah, casually, I would say this level's probably 15-20 by itself. The previous level, Warfang City, I would argue is easily half an hour or more. So it's very impressive
Okay,
skips.
I'm stuck. Let's go. That took
Yeah.
ages.
Yep, Asmi just got it as well.
Oh, we're in sync now. Let's
Hey.
go.
And we got ourselves a race.
I'm gonna say I was purposely doing that. No, I'm joking.
Of course,
I'm
of
joking,
course.
I'm joking.
Just gotta keep it interesting.
Exactly. Gotta,
So this part of the section level hasn't loaded yet. We can fly up here, but you're going to be careful not to enter that building you see directly in front of us.
Oh!
That's where you're meant to follow the boss.
Ooh, I
Going in
nearly
there is
got
a
in there.
soft lock, so
Nearly.
you've got to stay on the outside of the building. The vines will take us up to the boss.
all right, yeah, this is gonna be close.
You'll see two different strategies here. I'll be standing on the left side, Tia stands near the back. We'll be baiting attacks out from the golem, destroying his hands, and then we have a few QTEs we need to hit after
Which
this.
I am terrible at because I've got a little book here that will help me. See? And then A. Oh no, wait. X. A, X. Yeah, I am terrible at QuickTime events, so I've got them written down because I'm used to a PlayStation, so when I see X, I automatically press A.
Luckily, these QTEs are all completely consistent, so we can keep notes and know what's coming up with these.
That certainly helps. I'm tempted to bring up the fact that there's a Wii port, so there's actually a third place there could be a letter X, but I don't... Last I checked, the Wii doesn't have an X on it.
That is correct, yes. The Wii version is also it's a difficulty to run based on the shielding mechanic that we use for the hyperspeed is bound to, I believe it's like the nunchuck shake.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
So you need to land multiple frame-perfect Wii Remote shakes, which does not sound
That doesn't
fun.
happen, no.
I will stick with the Xbox.
There is actually a runner who runs on Wii, and I have watched him play, and he's just moving. Oh, he's moving his hands literally all the time, and he's getting frame perfect tricks with just motion controls, which is wild.
That's... Yeah, that... Alright, it's still keeping a pretty close race, it looks like.
So we are at Ruins of Warfang. So we need to get red gems to these dragons. So we need 4 of them. I will be doing the hyperspeed where I do the bite, and hopefully Cinder gets stuck. CD will be doing the super bounce, so he'll be going to the places and super bouncing over the tall walls. Casually you can't do it, though if I'm honest, maybe you could if you give it a couple of goes. So we don't have to fight this guy here, we can just jump over him, we don't need to do anything about him. So I'll grab this red gem. And what happens is wind tunnels start to appear once you've gotten the gem, and they bring you back to the 4 dragons where you place the gem at. At the dragon, I will be getting Spyro stuck for a change, and the reason why we get Spyro stuck is so that Cinder can just transport back to him. So when we change dragons, let me pick that up again. So the reason how I get Spyro stuck is I drop it close, and then we just press 2 buttons, B and X at the same time, and now he is stuck. So yeah, the reason why we get him stuck is so that when Cinder goes and picks up the next gem, we can just teleport back to Spyro without going through any wind tunnels.
And the AI just drags itself back to you because it ignores walls at that point.
Yes.
Gotta love that.
The game kind of just decides when not to apply the whole, like, they're chained together gimmick, just completely at random.
So I can just swap to Spyro, give it a second, and then Cinder should be here. Okay, let me
I looked
drop
over at the other screen and I just looked back and you're right where I saw you a minute ago.
So Spyro does come to you on the last bit of the level, because we hit a cutscene and that just triggers him to just appear. Sometimes he doesn't appear. It's happened to me once where he's just not come over.
Okay. And so that's why you do that other one last.
Yes. Also, I will need Spyro at the last bit because I will be doing something different to CD where I will be farming up gems and also a Fury. So I will be using a second Fury at the end of the game because I'll be going for a trick called Meeba Skip, which saves about 3 to 4 minutes at the end of the game. It's probably the hardest trick in the game. So I will need that Fury. CD will just be skipping that, so you won't have to see him farm 150 combos. Please go over. You'll also be seeing us biting whilst in hyperspeed because we keep our momentum. We actually build it if we bite whilst flying. So there you just see a brick wall. We can go over that brick wall because we're in hyperspeed. CD will be bouncing over that. I am not great with bouncing, so I'm just gonna hope that Cinder grabs. There we go.
Nice.
Now that she did a grab, I am now out of the hyperspeed state. So Monkey took gem, we need to kill Monkey now. So these guys are actually from A New Beginning, which is the first game out of all of the games, and they just kind of reused the bones of the monkeys, if you've ever played A New Beginning or The Eternal Night.
It's explained by the hermit who we skipped back in
Yes.
Avalar. Basically, Malifaux, the main villain, cursed them for their hubris because Greek tragedy something or other, I guess. Sounds good.
Yeah, out of all of the Spyro games, this one has the deepest lore. So all of the Legend games actually has like deep lore if you really look into it, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I used a combo there to take down one of the enemies by using Cinder's Shadow attack, followed by Spyro's Electric Breath. You're able to really quickly dispatch enemies. We'll be seeing that in just a few places throughout the game. It won't be often used because there's not many sections where we need to use combat necessarily. Also, Spyro is unhappy. Not sure why he didn't want to go in properly the whirlwind there. You'll see I was able to catch up with Tia a bit there. However, with the Fury that she's built up, she's going to be going for a Fury Fling near the end of the run. That has the potential to save a huge amount of time over the strategies I'll be using.
The dam.
The darn dam.
Of course.
So there's two variations of what will be going on here. Tia will be getting the hyperspeed near the bottom. I'll just be using super bounces to get up. There's a large mini-boss fight partway through this level. There is a few ways to skip it. Primarily, it involves getting Spyro stuck on the wrong side of the wall, and then from there flying Spyro to where he should be, as the non-player character does not trigger the boss fight.
Why are you doing it? So if you stand on certain parts of the lift, sometimes Cinder doesn't want to jump. I've noticed that. Like there, she's not jumping, which is mean. Okay, jump. There we go. We got her to jump.
So here I'm going to take Cinder into this corner so it respawns Spyro up at the top. I'm going to position them. The trigger for the boss fight is just over there, so I'm going to roll Spyro. He is through past the trigger. I'm going to fly Spyro over this side of the wall. He is well past the trigger and through the corridor.
Awesome.
So we don't have to deal with that mini boss at all. Next up is two weights. We need to take this all the way to the top of the dam. There is also an elite enemy we need to walk past as well. Elite enemies are optional bosses for full completion. They are extremely difficult, and we are going to be avoiding them as much as possible.
They can like one-shot you, so we're gonna be screaming if they get really close to us.
You know, that's fair.
My favorite one is because he's got the green helmet. It's like, is that the green from the Earth for Spyro? Or is that the green from the poison for Cinder? It's really not clear when you're doing 100%.
Yeah, so you're meant to use the breath color of what the helmet is, but some of the colors are the exact same for both dragons, so it is very confusing.
Well, and it's not explained well.
Yes, it's not explained at all in the game.
They just say that the helmet means what his weakness is, but they don't explain in what way, and you're dead.
Oh,
Ouch.
did you die?
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
hit.
no.
I'm on really low health right now.
Holy cow, yeah.
Okay, good. I get the respawn here. Oh no, I need to take put the weights up again. Crap. Okay. At least I didn't get the bad respawn. The bad respawn would have soft locked me.
Well, good. Lesser of two evils.
Confusingly, yeah, you'd think that would be the ice breath you need to use for this guy. No, it's the wind. Oh. I'm gonna just get away from him.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's very scary.
Uh-huh. Never realized just how much the elite enemies hurt, but by this point in the game, casually, you'd have several health upgrades already.
Yes, so that's a massive thing, is that during the game, if you play it normally, there are like different shaped gems. So the red gems are like in a kind of orb or an egg shape, and those are the ones that will upgrade your breath and health.
There's one right here past that door that
Yeah.
Rom passed.
And those will upgrade your health and stuff. So we will be going into the final boss with barely any health, so he can easily one-shot us if he wants. So I am currently at the destroyer. and you need to destroy 12 of his hearts, I believe it is 12. But instead, we're going to be destroying about 3. I'm going to be going for 2. I believe CD will be going for 3 of them.
I will be. I am just trying to be very careful just now because I've taken a lot of damage, and I am just trying to find a red health crystal.
Cool. So I have skipped literally all of his hearts. We're now going to be going inside, where we have to destroy his other hearts.
Yeah, there's a lot of hearts on the outside of this boss that you have to destroy a few at a time to unlock different parts climbing around the outside.
So during this wind tunnel bit, we'll both be spinning sideways. It just makes us go faster. Plus we have iframes, so we don't get actually damaged that much. I'll be using fire on the heart because it actually destroys the heart very quickly. It shouldn't do, but it does.
Yeah, you also have no upgrades on any of your elements XP-wise, which definitely limits the damage output of most of your abilities, except for apparently fire and ice in specific cases.
Cool, that's the first heart destroyed. And for the second heart, I'm going to be doing something where before I get pulled into the wind tunnel, I'm going to be trying to exit out of it by flinging myself out of it and hopefully rolling back into the second room again. That just skips me doing the third heart, which saves quite a bit of time. Let's try and avoid the lava because I'm a little low on health.
Oh, so you skipped the third phase entirely of this?
Yes. Well, hopefully I will. So, okay, I'm going to try and fling back into this room.
I'll lead.
Cool,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
back in.
That's crazy.
Cool. And now I have to just destroy this heart with actually attacking it because this drains your mana. Cool. So we just skipped one room of doing that, so it saves a bit of time.
1 out of 12.
1 out of 12, yeah.
Mission complete.
So
So
now we just have to fly away from the lava. If we get touched by the lava, that resets us, and I have to redo this again. Ooh, I'm really close. I'm normally not that close to it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
My camera went very funny there, so I'm just going to set up that trick again.
There we go. So I'm just spamming forward to try and get some speed on there. There we go. And I'm out of there. So CD is doing the hyperspeed attack there, where you have to get above the guy's head to go into the section. So you need to be in a flying state. If you're not in a flying state, you just go straight through the head, which is very weird.
In there, are you? Come on, Sparks. We're gonna need you to lead the
So
So-
that's just got into the Burned Lands level now. It's an extremely long combat-focused level. Luckily, we are able to hyperspeed over all of the walls, and it results in it being a very short platforming level.
Yeah, this level usually has a lot of combat arenas that just pop out of the ground.
Yes.
Forces some walls that you can't normally jump over. And it does this 3 or 4 times. But here, just don't. This is a Spyro game. It's all about platforming.
Yeah, if you're above a certain height, please. Oh, yes. So normally if you're a little bit lower than what I was there, you'll trigger a cutscene that just shows you what you're meant to do, but we're just going to go straight over everything and just avoid everything. Please, can we avoid everything? Yes, we avoided everything. We didn't even get one cutscene, which is great.
Awesome. And Ignitus survived.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure, he's still alive.
I mean, we didn't see the cutscene, therefore it didn't happen.
So I'll explain what's going on in this next part. I'll let Tia focus on the techniques she's about to do, as they're very risky. So she's going to be going for a hyperspeed at the very start. That will be to get over the wall. It's an extremely precise AI minute, which will allow Spyro to clip through that gate that's right in front. She's then going to be going for another hyperspeed, similar to the one you saw us perform at the
Beginning.
Fury Fling. Just as you saw us do at the beginning, that would skip the level. It is extremely
Yes.
precise, and she gets 1 attempt at it.
Yes. So Meeba Skip is the hardest trick in the game, which I'll be going for. Just in case I don't get it, I'm just going to collect some gems here. And one more important thing is I need to level up Spyro because I am near the end of the game. And to defeat Malifaux, we need ice. If we upgrade this in the fight of Malifaux, it kind of messes up, so I want to try and avoid as much glitchiness as I can. So I'm just about to do the hard trick, so I'm going to be quiet.
There he is. Hi, Meeba.
Yeah, that's Meebus. Come on. Come on. Ooh, I don't think I got it. No, I got my camera angle wrong. No!
Oh no.
Oh, so that's just missed it, unfortunately.
That's fine.
It's an extremely precise skip. It was only found within the last few months. And it has the potential for a lot of time save as well. It allows you to skip all of the final fight. The final fight of that level.
Come on, Cinder. Oh yeah, she's stuck. That's why she's not coming over. So now that I didn't get Meebus Skip, I'm going to do the other way of flinging these guys off the side. There's 6 guys. We're going to use wind because that just throws them off.
This game is fair and balanced.
Mm-hmm. So we wait for the other ones to spawn in.
To anyone who's casually familiar with the other games of this series, there's a similar strategy you can use in the first game with electricity. You just grab an enemy with the element and you can throw them around the level. In this case, you just throw them off a bottomless pit and they die immediately. Saves a lot of fighting.
Cool. And now we actually fight Meebus instead of skipping him.
Meebus, you'll see the same technique we were using earlier, using the Shadow and Electric Breaths. That will allow us to take down Meebus extremely quickly.
So why do we call him Meebus again?
Because his name is Meebus. It's in the files. Every one of these enemies has a unique name.
So here you'll just be seeing what I'm doing slightly different than what Tia did. Tia used the hyperspeed to get up here. I will be using a super bounce followed by a relatively slow infinite combo, but will give us the same results. But it means I don't need to go for the frame perfect hyperspeed.
On. Yeah, if you was playing this casually, this guy is so hard to kill. He takes ages to kill, and then you also have these things, these like trap things that hold you down. They tether you down to the thing, and you have to destroy them before you can move. And they can actually get you whilst you're flying, and sometimes they don't hit. There we go.
I didn't get Spyro through first try. He's definitely on the ground this time.
Cool. I'm just gonna farm up some green gems before we go into Malifaux. Your gems stay the same, so if I was low on health and low on mana, they would stay the same going into the next level. So let's just be full. So Malifaux is probably the hardest boss in all of the Spyro games, and I think I can say that confidently playing all of them.
I would argue that Gaul at the end of the second game is a little...
No, Malifaux is harder.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Malifaux is harder. He can one-shot you. Gaul can one-shot you, but it's a lot easier to avoid his attacks.
Okay, fair enough.
So we'll be using the Ice Tornado to attack Malifaux. It's probably the best way of attacking him. We get him in a stun lock here. I'm currently not getting him in a stun lock. Actually low on health, which is very scary right now, because these attacks can hit you and kill you instantly. Cool.
Getting a little unlucky with my AI manips here.
So now I've got him. I'm using too much mana, that's the problem. Here we go. So the hardest part of this fight is the second phase, where Malifaux will be flying around the place. And again, his breaths can one-shot you. He'll be doing an ice breath and a purple breath. The purple breath locks onto you. The ice breath is kind of random in a way. It doesn't lock onto you. Ooh. This is the hardest part for me, is doing the quick time events. I have my notebook here that tells me what's going to be happening next, so I'll just put that there. Okay, I died. So, I will be doing a thing where I use Cinder, and I will be using... I'm going to call her Dark Mode, where she goes into her Shadow Mode. I just call it Dark Mode because it's easier. She becomes invincible, which avoids quite a lot of the attacks. And let me change to Ice. Cool. Okay, I'm good now. So, hardest phase of the fight is second phase. And Malifaux has different moves, so you've got Ice, you've got Purple, you've got Ball, where he turns into a ball. They all have different sound effects, so we are listening for sound cues as well. He also has attacks where he can hit you or he can pounce on you, which can nearly all one-hit you. So I'm going to try and be standing behind him as I'm doing my Ice Tornado. Purple, that's bad. Cool.
All right.
A, X, and then Y. Whew, it's a hard part for me. And the third phase is probably the easiest one, where we just farm out our Fury by just spamming Ice, which builds very fast.
Oh
And-
gosh. Wow, it does.
Yep, and now we just go into Fury, and we can do this in one cycle if we just try and maintain our distance with him. So we're gonna have to try and guess where he's gonna be next, which is up there. And hopefully, if I don't die, we'll do this in one go.
Right.
Ooh. We can still do it in one go if we hit him right. Cool, nice. Then it's X. And when I finish is when the black bars appear, which will be happening after the Y button input. Okay, and that's
Alright.
time for me.
Good game. That was a really solid run.
Oh, so if you didn't know, Malifaux is actually voiced by Mark Hamill, but you can't tell it's Mark Hamill because they destroyed his voice with so many
Filters, yeah.
filters that you
Audio
can't tell
effects.
it's Mark Hamill. Right, CD is doing the...
And
oh, you killed him, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
That is
So
Mavis.
yeah, I'll just be going through clearing off Malifaux. Is there anything you'd like to read through just now?
Let's go.
Sure, we do have $20 from Rexy. I'm hyped to not only see a Legend of Spyro game at UKSG, but also the first race at a UKSG event. Best of luck to Tia and CDR on this Draconian showdown. And $20 from Nordic. Everyone knows Tiny Tim has the best taste in music.
Alright, that's me just entering the final boss here.
You with me?
Similar, just going to be using the ice here. Oh, I have not upgraded my
Oh.
ice element. I've got plenty of XP if I die, so that's fine.
So, fun fact. Cinder and Spyro in The Eternal Light on the GBA, it says at the start of the game that they are siblings.
Oh, this
However, in the end of Dawn of the Dragon, they are lovers. So the game, people made a mistake and they didn't know what the game was, so they just said they were siblings, and the actual people of the console games, that they kind of intended them to be lovers, so they didn't have good speaking terms of what the game is actually.
Yeah, the writers of the console games wrote out all the story and the
Yeah.
yeah, the handhelds were just ports, essentially. Not a lot of communication, obviously. And there's so much lore and story in these that's unofficial stuff that we hear from the devs after the fact. Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Okay.
So just entering phase 2 here. Careful stand behind Malphor. Dodge the shots.
Yeah, definitely Malphor is the hardest boss out of all of the games, just by the fact that he can easily one-shot you. And CD just got the ball there where he does like a strong attack ball form.
I think, to be fair, part of the reason I consider this fight less difficult, I wouldn't say easier, but less difficult, is because the 3 phases kind of split it up. You have very good restart points. You could get through phase 1,
Yep.
and then you have however many tries you need for phase 2, and then same thing for
Yeah.
phase 3. Whereas Gaul in the second game, I think it's really mostly just one try
Yeah,
for the
if
whole
you die,
fight.
you have to reset the whole thing.
Right. And the second game in particular was very bad about
Checkpoints.
checkpoints. Really hard fights that if you lose, send back to the very beginning, or, you know, a hallway before that. Just rough.
Yeah, this has been a really good time, just like a really good year for Dawn of the Dragon speedrunning. We've seen a bunch of runners reach really high levels, a bunch of new strats have been found. This game is more active than it's ever been recently. There was even a run less than 24 hours ago as well, another marathon.
Yes.
So this game is getting a fair amount of activity for a lesser known Spyro game. And I'm sure this game still has a bunch of potential things that we haven't found or considered yet.
Yes, definitely. Sadly, this is not the first time. We got beat by like 12 hours by the first time Dawn has been in a speedrunning event.
Watch out!
But it is great that Dawn is getting finally some spotlight because it is a great speed game. There are a lot of tricks if you like tricks. This has plenty of them, and we didn't even showcase the majority of them because we're not top runners. There are some more tricks that we don't even know how they work, and they require a lot more effort and stuff like that aren't really event reliable. But yeah, if you really want to go hard with this game, you can. So CD will hopefully be getting it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
one
got the one
cycle,
cycle.
let's go.
Nice.
Awesome.
And then the hardest part, quick time events.
You say that, but he doesn't even have notes. How bad could it be?
Look, I'm used to PlayStation.
Shout out to Gary Oldman in the
Gary
credits.
Oldman, yep.
And all the other excellent voice work. Again, it's such a shame that Mark Hamill got over-filtered. They've got some behind the scenes.
Cool, and CD will be ending soon.
Time.
Woo!
Awesome. Still underestimate.
We're underestimate, let's go.
Yeah, wait for the estimate. Very nice. So thank you for having us. This has been really great being able to showcase Dawn of the Dragon in-person event. And yeah, do you have any shout-outs or?
If you want to watch me, I speedrun all of the Spyro games. I'm literally trying to do all of them back to back in one sitting. If you like Spyro like me, follow me. You should definitely follow CD. He does all of the other Spyro games as well.
Yeah, I'm CDR. I do some variety speedrunning stuff. And yeah, I've just been enjoying doing a bunch of stuff. Spyro has been a real interest of mine over the years. And it's been really fun taking part in the Spyro community and getting to learn fun games like this.
Cool. Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
All right, thank you, CD and Tia, for that amazing run and the first ever race at UKSG. It was very much a pleasure to watch. Coming up next, we have Hypnotics with Tales Noir Rebel Rush.